Think about this. What would you do if you needed to come up with $20,000 in 6 months? You're currently working, and all of a sudden, it's been made clear that you need to have $20,000 within 6 months, or things are going to go really bad for you. What is it that you would do? How would you come up with the $20,000? Now, you're probably saying to yourself, well, Dr. D, that's not really reality. Don't nobody be needing to come up with that type of money in that short amount of time. And I'm here to tell you that is absolutely how it works. And these things really happen. But I want you to think about what it is that we do when they happen. The reason why we don't hear about this as often is because we automatically say, well, I ain't got it. I don't know what to do. I ain't gonna be able to pay that. And we go on about our business. It could be for a medical procedure or for an emergency when something happens and we have to come up with money. I know that a friend had cancer and she needed to go to Kansas City to get cancer treatments that were natural and holistic. And she needed $20,000 to pay for the treatments and the hotel, and it was detrimental. She needed to come up with that money within the next 30 to 60 days, or it was going to diminish her chances of getting the healing that she was looking for because her health would continually fade. Sometimes it's for a real estate investment, that home that you've been searching for. Now it just hits the market and is there and available, and you got to come up with 20K real quick. It could be for a family emergency. I know me as a black mom with black boys, things are not fair in this world. And so when you need to have a lawyer, maybe somebody gets sick, maybe there is a funeral that needs to be planned. And I'm here to tell you, funerals not in Missouri, they are not $5,000 or $6,000. I've heard people say they paid $7,000 for a funeral. And then I asked what were the services like? For my own mom's funeral, that funeral was $13,000. So it could be for home repairs. We've had a lot of storms, floods. I know somebody right now who's dealing with mold in their home. They have mold in their home. And so they have to get that remedied, or it's going to start making them sick. They got to come up with $20,000 to have the people come in, rid their full basement and the walls of mold, and repair the damage that they're going to do getting the mold out. Sometimes it's for like educational opportunities. Or I know someone who went on a game show, won the vehicle, and then had to come up with the money to pay for the taxes and stuff before they could take the vehicle with them. It was like $8,000 because it was a good vehicle. It was fancy. Maybe you need $20,000 for an investment opportunity, or maybe it's an emergency relocation. Some of us live in one state, our parents and grandparents live in another state, or that favorite aunt or uncle or someone, and they have a sudden fail in health, and you need to pack up, you need to move immediately. Maybe you lost your job or you're going to pursue a new job. I'm giving you reasons because I don't want you to sit and think, oh, that doesn't happen. That's not reality. Dr. D, what you talking about? No, this is reality. This is reality. If you needed to come up with a large sum of money immediately, or even in the near future, if something happened and you needed to come up with $20,000 within the next 6 months, how would you come up with that money? I really want you to begin to process through that. I really want you to think about it. And let me tell you what some of us are going to say. And it's a point to me doing this live, and I'm going to give you steps and strategies on how to come up with money in a short amount of time. So some people are going to say, I'm going to borrow or take out a loan. That's what most people are going to say. Most people are going to instantly think to themselves, I'm going to borrow the money. My cousin work a good job. I'm going to call and see if I can borrow from her. My auntie, my mama, I'm going to call, I'm going to borrow the money. Other people are going to say, I'm going to pull all of my credit cards together and I'm going to try to pull the money off my credit cards. I want you to think about this mentality. So I want you to think about, if somebody, and even think about this, if somebody had your kid for ransom and they grabbed your kid and said, you got 30 days to come up with X amount of money, what you gonna do to get that money? I want us to think about that, because The first point I want to make is that we'll do it for other people, but we won't do it for ourselves. And then when an opportunity comes along, that's a really great opportunity. You know, it's a good opportunity, but then when you hear the price, you turn the other way. I really want you to think about, if something came along that was a great opportunity for you, maybe it's a real estate investment, maybe it's a business investment, maybe it's an opportunity to move to the location you've been wanting to move to, and you have 6 months to come up with the money, the $20,000. What is it that you would do? Again, most of us are going straight to, I'm gonna borrow it, I'm gonna take out a loan. Others of us are going to go straight to, well, I got good credit, I'm going to use my good credit, and I'm going to get some credit cards and take money off my credit cards. There are some people who are going to say, I'm going to do a fundraiser. I'm going to do a fundraiser. I'm going to do a GoFundMe. I'm going to do a GoFundMe. Some people are going to say, I got 6 months to make this happen. Oh, I'm gonna get a second job. I'm gonna go get a part-time job, and all that money that comes in from my part-time job, I'm gonna direct that over into that account, so that by the end of that 6 months, I'll be real close, and then I can take the rest of the money off my paycheck that I work to add over there to come up with the $20,000. There are some people who are going to say, oh, I'm gonna sell some stuff. I'm gonna sell my car. I'm gonna sell my jewelry. I'm gonna sell my collectibles, and I'm gonna make some money that way. So I want you to think about, how are we coming up with this money? And some people, you were stopped when I said it. You had stopped yourself when I first said it. You had already said, I can't come up with $20,000 in 6 months, so I'm not gonna even worry about it. You had already dismissed yourself from this conversation. These are the very people who need to be listening to this conversation. Those who dismiss themselves are the ones who need to be listening. Those who are listening are the ones who are saying to themselves right now, oh, let me catch game on how I can be able to bring large sums of money into my household in a short amount of time. There are some people who are going to say, oh, I'm going to pull some equity out of my house. I'm going to get a home equity line of credit, and I'm going to pay for it that way. Okay. There are some people who are going to pull money out of their retirement funds. So I want us to see, we got some options. Some of us hadn't even thought about any of this, but we got some options. There are some people who are going to say, I'm going to cut expenses. I'm going to live on the bare bones, bare minimum, and I'm going to try to pull it out of my check that I already make, that I already get. You get $3,000 a month. Your house note is $1,200 a month. And in your mind, you think to yourself, I am going to save $2,000 a month for 6 months, and you still not at the 20. I just want to be clear on that. You still not at the 20. Some people are going to say, I'm going to see if I can get a pay advance. I'm going to see if my boss will pay me my checks in advance, and I just work and don't get paid. There's some people who are going to think like this. And then some people are going to think, I'm going to sell some homemade goods. I'm going to cook some meals. I'm going to do some t-shirts. I'm going to sell some t-shirts. The first thing I want you to know is that for those of us who thought to themselves, I'm going to borrow the money, I'm going to take a loan out, I'm going to use my credit cards. For those who thought, I'm going to fundraise. For those who thought, I'm going to get a second job. For those who thought, I'm going to take out a home equity line of credit, which is still borrowing or going out to take out a loan. For those who thought, I'm going to go into my retirement fund, I want you to know that you need to work on your mindset. See, right now, you probably think that was a good idea, but you have 6 months, which is half of a year, to make $20,000. All of us should have been thinking, all of us. And if you wasn't, now is the time to begin to think this, because I'm trying to help us to understand the way that we get to financial independence, the way that we get out of this system that we're in, the way that we change our situation is by thinking about things in a different way. It's by having a different mindset. So I want you to be thinking to yourself, what is the expertise that I can sell? What are some things that I'm already doing and not getting paid for that I can begin to get paid for? You can begin to freelance. You can begin to consult. You can create an online course or a workshop. You can create these same creative platforms that you are on right now. Right now, you're watching me on some platform, on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, on something. And we all know that they pay when you do the work to make them pay. So you could do that. You could create digital products. You got 6 months to make this happen. And for some reason, we've told ourselves that it takes 6 years in order to make something happen. And I want us to understand that you got to shift into 2024. We're now headed into 2025, and you got to be willing to shift with the time that we're in. We're no longer in a space where it takes 30 years to retire. You're still trapped in the idea that it takes 30 years to get to where you're going. And these young folks are coming around showing you differently. We have millionaires being made overnight. We have people who are making 6 figures in a day, and you're still stuck in thinking, first of all, that you can't make 6 figures, and second of all, that it takes a year to make 6 figures, and third of all, that you can't create income unless you're in a job. That's right, Keisha. It can happen quickly. It absolutely can. But it can only happen for the people who believe it can happen, and for the people who understand that you don't have to work a job in order to have income. I'm not saying quit your job. I'm saying if a situation came up and you needed to come up with $20,000, the only thing most of us know to do is to go out and borrow money from family or friends, or to go to a bank, or to use our credit cards, or to get a second job. And I want us to know that that is erroneous thinking, and we need to start thinking a different way. And hopefully this live that I'm doing will help to boost you into a different way of thinking, because it's too many ways for you to make money. You can do affiliate products. Even in this world, you can do things like drop shipping. Stop always thinking that because I'm a teacher, I can only do teacher things. That's not true. Hey, Dr. Mel. Hey, Dr. Mel, how's it going? I hope that you are having an amazing year, because this is Abundant April, and whatever you want is available for you. So it's a lot of ways that you can make money. What about print on demand? Some of y'all doing stuff already. You can do print on demand. You can do virtual events. You can do content creation and get paid for it right here on these same platforms, right here on these same platforms that you are utilizing right now. You can do online tutoring. You can do online coaching. And let's be honest. Now I'm finna give y'all one that y'all might look at me sideways about, but you're gonna have to look at me sideways, because y'all doing it for free anyway. So half of y'all, so I ain't gonna say half of y'all, some of y'all doing stuff. Girl, go on, get on OnlyFans. You doing it for free online anyway. Go on over to OnlyFans and get paid for it. We gotta stop being willing to work for free. You got pretty feet, go on and take some pictures of them feet and put them on OnlyFans. You doing it anyway. You walking around with the feet out anyway. Go and put it on OnlyFans. Some of us, we're really good at typing and putting things together. You can make additional money being a virtual assistant. You work at your own pace. You can get it done. They give you a project to do. You get it done when you can. Some of us are in great physical shape. We spend a lot of time getting in shape, have great expertise at that. Do some personal fitness training. Do some training. All I'm saying is, he say, I'm through. I'm just saying, Dr. Mel, we got to be thinking about ways that we can bring additional income into our households, because how will you ever get to financial independence if you're relying on your job to pay you every 15th and 30th? What is it that made you think that you can only get paid 2 times in a month? What is it that made you think that? The school system made you think that. Society made you think that. Capitalism made you think that. And for those of us who only get paid 2 times a month or 1 time a month, we also are afraid to become a producer. All we know how to do is consume, consume, consume. We get our check. All of the money goes right back out the house to pay rent, light, gas, telephone, sewer, car note, car insurance, medical insurance, buy the baby new shoes. All of the money went back out. Now we got to work 14 more days to get another check. And when that check comes in, now that money's going right back out. There is never a new infusion of cash. So that money is gone again also. So I want us to think about this. I want us to really take into consideration, how will we ever get to financial independence, you got to take some steps. You got to be willing to bring additional income into your household, and you got to be willing to talk about your skills, your talents, the things that you can do. But more importantly, some of the things that you're already doing, you can get paid for it. The problem is you never asked. The problem is you never asked to get paid. You've been doing it for free. You've been going over doing the church, the daycare service for free. You've been watching people's kids for free. You've been tutoring people's kids for free. You've been the fun day auntie taking all 6 of your nieces and nephews, and then they pay the daycare to do the exact same thing that you do. We got to start asking to be paid for our services. You got people calling you, wanting you to look at their resume. Girl, can you look at my resume real quick and help me to get my resume? Because I want to go after this job and I know you're good at this. Why can't we attach a dollar sign to it? Because guess what? She's going to go over to that other place and pay for it. She's going to go over to that other place and pay for it. At least you're going to give her great service, and you probably going to give her a little discount, but she'll pay the other people full price. But we never asked to be paid. I was talking to someone just yesterday, and she said she had just closed her first contract. She was really, really excited. She said she had just closed her first contract. I said, so tell me, what did you do to close that contract? She said, I did what you told me to do. I said, what was that? She said, I asked to be paid. They wanted me to do it for free. And I told them, are you asking me to work for free? And they said, she said they looked at her and they said, no, I didn't know that you wanted me to pay you. And she said, why wouldn't I want you to pay me? I went to school for this. I did this in the school system for 30 years. So you think that I'm going to do it for free now? She was like, no, I want to be paid for it. And they said, okay, can you send your invoice over? But if she had not asked to be paid, they would have let her work for free. A lot of these things that we're doing, we can get paid for. Somebody came and asked somebody else to speak at their upcoming event. And she said, is there a budget attached to this? And they were like, oh yeah, send me your invoice over. See, we got to ask to be paid. If you're willing to do it for free, then you're not going to get paid. If you're just excited that people are offering to have you speak or have you show up or share your knowledge, then just be excited for that pat on the back, for that somebody noticed and recognized you. But for those of us who are serious about financial independence, I'm going to recommend to everybody, you need to start a business. And even if you don't start a business, people still need to pay you for your services. We need to stop letting people believe that we have such low self-esteem, that we have such low self-worth, that we have such low self-value, that we don't believe that we are good at what we do. We're experts at what we do. We show up, we show out, and people who are good at what they do, they deserve to get paid for it. Nobody would ever call LeBron and ask him to play for free or to show up for free. Nobody would ever think of anybody who you know who's really good at what they do. There is no expectation for them to work for free. So why do you have the expectation to work for free? You got to first change your mindset that I don't work for free. Like, I understand, I don't work for free. I do not. I don't work for free. Slavery is over. I do not work for free. So then once you get that understanding, then you have to come to the understanding that you're responsible for your own financial independence. It's not your school system. They don't get to dictate how much you make in a year just because they gave you that salary schedule. They don't get to dictate how much that you make in a year. They're telling you how much they're going to pay you, but that has nothing to do with what other income you're going to bring into your household. Too many of us have stopped and built our life around what the school system said we can have. That's right, Dr. Mel. And Dr. Mel can tell y'all, Dr. Mel left her job and she has her own consulting business, Scholars for the Soul, and she be doing it. And is it always easy? No, it's not always easy. But guess what? I'd rather do the hard work for me and be in control of my financial independence than for somebody else to be able to dictate to me, you're going to get paid on the 15th and the 30th. That check going to be $1,800 on the 15th and $1,800 on the 30th. And you need to build your life around that. No, you can give me that check on the 15th and the 18th, but I also got an extra 1,000 coming in from this. I got 200 coming in from that. And I got 400 coming in from this because I'm finna live good. I'm finna live good. Okay. So we got to get to the understanding that unless you take action and do something to bring additional income into your house, and it's not to get a second job, it really saddens my heart that 56% of all teachers in the United States of America, 56%, that means that more than half. Now, if you think I'm playing, think about all of the teachers who you talk to in your school system. Think about all of the teachers that you know. 56% of them have a part-time job. They have another job because the first job is not paying enough. And so we thought, oh, this job ain't paying enough. Let me go get a second job. It's a mindset issue, people. The job ain't the problem. It's your mindset. You think that the only way that you can bring income in is through a job, when income is money that you create, because you don't understand that abundance is your birthright. Why are 56% of teachers working other jobs? They're doing bartending. They're working in family businesses. I do a free book a strategy call. Almost every call, somebody's working a part-time job. If you would stop focusing on the part-time job, take 6 months and focus on the business, the skill, the talent that you have, and how you can outsource it, how you can freelance it, how you can sell it, you will see that you'll make a whole lot more money and be in more control of your time and how much money comes into your household. And so I want us to really think about how we can take steps towards financial independence. How can you take steps towards financial independence? We got to first create a timeline. It don't take 20 years. That's the old methodology. You all sit back and you see millionaires happen overnight. You all see people's financial situations change overnight. The problem is you believe that everybody else's financial situation can change overnight, but you don't believe that for you. You can never bring that into your life as long as you have that doubt, as long as you have that negative energy. You can't bring that into your life. Prime example. Now, I didn't watch the episode because I didn't have 500 minutes to give to Risa Tisa, but Risa Tisa's life changed in a 7 to 10 day time period. Now stop playing. Risa Tisa's life changed in a 7 to 10 day time period. She wasn't trying to be no content creator. She wasn't trying to be no influencer. I just want to bring to light how your life can literally change overnight, how you can bring in more income in 24 hours, in 7 days, in 30 days than you can in a whole year. And it doesn't just always happen online. This is what I need you to understand. But how did Risa Tisa get to where she is? She got brave enough to go onto a platform to speak her truth. A lot of y'all won't even get online and talk. You won't even show your face. You won't even tell your story. You won't even tell people that you are gifted in an area. You won't even say what your expertise is. And you won't even tell people that I'm willing to work and sell it. I'm willing to share my expertise with you. That's right, Dr. Mel. She sure did. Dr. Mel says she learned from the best. I'm telling you, Risa Tisa was able to change her life overnight. But she couldn't have did it until she took the steps, until she created the TikTok account, until she went on. She had a plan. She had 50 episodes already mapped out, ready to go. She had a plan. She said, I'm going to tell my story. I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, I did some dumb stuff. Yeah, it was a lot of red flags. She said, I take accountability for everything that I did. I'm not asking for pity. I'm just trying to help some other people so that you can see the red flags in your life. But then guess what? Guess what? People resonated with her. This is what I try to tell y'all. Some of y'all resonate with me. I resonate with some of y'all. Some of y'all understand she just like me. She ain't out here trying to pretend like she a millionaire and jetting off in private jets. Girl, that ain't my life. That ain't my life. But I tell you what, I bet I'm living a good life. I bet I'm living the life that I dreamed of. I bet that I have visions. Let me show you my visions. This is my vision board right here. Who is that on the front cover? That's me. That's me. This is my dream life for 2024. I preach and talk about the things that I do. When you open this book, what does it say? My first thing says, I am financially free. These are my steps. I go over this every single day. I look at it. What does it say? I am a successful author. All of y'all know these are the things that I talk about. This is the vision that I have for my life. These are the things that I'm doing. I am a sought after speaker. I have the picture to go with it to show I'm bringing it, I'm attracting it to myself to it. I am creating the positive energy. I'm in the best shape of my life. That's a picture of me, 40 pounds lighter than I am now. I'm bringing it into my life with the steps beside it. I'm not just creating this and sitting back twiddling my thumbs. I got to lose 40 pounds. I got to drink more water. How I'm going to lose more 40 pounds? I'm going to exercise. I'm going to get up. I'm going to close my mouth and stop eating all that stuff I was eating, going out to brunch 5 and 6 times a week and going out to dinners and stuff. I done stopped that stuff, y'all. That wasn't helping me. I had to take action. Here go my next page. I am adored by my husband and kids. We have great adventures. We have a positive relationship. And you see the picture. I'm not telling y'all something that I don't do for myself. I create the vision that I have for my life. Here y'all are. I'm helping Black women. I'm helping Black women live their dream life. This is for 2024. If you notice on the front of the book, it says a date, December 31st, 2024. These are things that I want to see manifest in my life by December 31st, 2024. I'm not talking about no 5-year plan, no 10-year plan. This is going to happen this year, but it's not because I'm sitting back twiddling my thumbs. I am hoping and praying, but I'm also putting action behind it. I'm also speaking to myself. Look at that. I have a thriving business. I'm not playing with y'all. And I need you not to play with yourself. I need you not to sleep on yourself. Baby, I am the rich auntie. I got 13 nieces and nephews and a slew of great nieces and nephews. And baby, I show up for them. And being the rich auntie is not about money. It's not about money. It's about a relationship. It's about how I show up. It's about the energy that I bring. I'm not bringing no energy of depression. I'm not bringing no energy of anxiety. I'm not bringing no energy of lack. That's what rich auntie means. Rich means I'm showing up in all my fullness, my brilliance, my abundance. I'm showing up. I'm loving on my nieces and nephews. I'm letting them know, baby, you special in my eyes. You mean the world to me. It ain't about a dollar amount. And I need us to stop thinking that. I'm a world traveler. Look at the steps. I have taken a trip out of the USA. That means that I'm a world traveler. And I have a trip planned for 2025. So I'm doing these things this year. This year, I'm going to Belize. I've already been to Aruba. I've been to Carousel. Where else did I go? I've been to the DR. I'm a world traveler. But before I had this, I wasn't a world traveler. I had only been to Mexico. But now I'm a world traveler. That's right, Dr. Mel. Money is not a barrier. Here's my next one. I'm a real estate investor. You see the keys in the house? I'm a real estate investor. So I got to write the vision. I got to make it plain. And I got to be prepared to seize the opportunities. Because guess what? I don't know how it's going to come. You didn't see me say how. I made the vision clear. I made it clear. And every day I get up and I look through this to remind myself I am financially free in 2024. It has my savings goal and that I'm paying off all credit card debt. I am a successful author. I have finished my book and the book is published by December 31st. Notice that each one has the date down there, December 31st. On December 31st, when I go through this book, I'm going to be able to check off everything that I need. On December 31st, I'm going to be able to check off every single thing that I need. Hey there, hey on YouTube, hey. So Dr. Mel said it's not too late. Make the vision plain today. Exactly. I don't know why people think that they can only make a vision board at the end of the year or at the beginning of the year. Sometimes we get amazing clarity and you need to go and make a new vision board. You got to be really clear about what it is that you want. But I tell you what, we got to get our mindsets changed because we're making these boards and we're coming up with these visions from a place of lack, from a place of desperation, from a place of not enough. And that's exactly what you're going to get out, which is what you put in. Money is not the barrier. Money is not the barrier. Dr. Mel says it's always the first step that blocks so many from getting to the bag and fulfilling your assignment. That's right. And if nothing else, Use the examples that are before you. When you think about Risa Tisa, if Risa Tisa hadn't have taken action, and I'm gonna tell y'all a little secret, you holler about faith and trust. You don't trust when you don't take action. You don't have faith when you don't take action. If you've been given a dream, a desire, and you just sit on it and you don't take action, you ain't got faith. You can kill that. You can make any excuse you want to make in the world. The reason why I kept re-signing that contract to that school system is because I didn't have faith. I had faith in that job. I had faith in that paycheck they was giving me, but I didn't have faith in the dream that was in me and what my skills and expertise were. And so that doubt made me not take action. When you have faith, you take action. You already know the doors cannot open for you until you take a step. Most of us can't make $20,000 in 6 months because we know that our job won't pay us $20,000 in 6 months. If you know you only make $3,000 a month, in 6 months, you've only made $18,000. And now here you are needing to make an additional 20 in a month. Some of us don't even know how we will make an extra $1,000 in a month. We're talking about 20,000 in 6 months. What about an extra $1,000 every month? How would that help you? How would that support you? And so I really, really want us to think about how we can get our take steps towards financial independence. Financial independence doesn't mean that you're rich. It doesn't mean that you're rich. It means that you have financial ownership over your finances. You are independent. You can create income. You don't have to sit back waiting on a check every 2 months. And then that takes me to the next question of how are we retiring people? So you're going to retire and you're just going to count on the pension that they say that they're going to give you? Is that what you're going to do? Because that's not financial independence. That's not. We're sitting back waiting for Social Security. We're sitting back waiting for our pension. I need you to know that you can have more than one pension. You can have more than one plan. You hear people talking about annuities. You hear people talking about real estate. You hear people talking about their other pension plan. You hear people talking about the savings that they've accumulated. You hear people talking about how they have set themselves up for the retirement of their dreams. You've eliminated yourself from that conversation because you don't believe that it can happen for you. Why have you eliminated yourself from that conversation? Some of us, we don't like the cold, but we like where we live. So why can't you have a second home? Why is it that you cannot have a second home in a sunny state and be a snowbird 6 months there, 6 months here? Why is that out of reach for you? Why is that only available for other people? I love Pansy of Facilitated Leaders. She said, oh, I'm going to have me a driver. Why is it that most of y'all think you can't have a driver? Some of y'all live in New York and all these places. It's not as expensive as you think. My housekeepers are right downstairs right now. I'm upstairs online with y'all. My house is being cleaned. That's 2-3 hours that I don't have to use that I can focus on doing my work up here. My chef comes every Sunday now. She comes on Sunday now. My chef comes every Sunday, private chef, and prepares meals for the whole week, puts them in bowls, separates them, does all of that, and puts them in the refrigerator, goes to the grocery store. I don't have to do any of that. That allows me to work more in my business. But it's because I said, I know that I can get paid for my expertise and for my skills. And the school system is never going to pay you what you're worth. Your job is never going to pay you what you're worth. We have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because the only way that you're going to get to the life that you've dreamed of is through discomfort. But what is the life you've dreamed of? And that's what we've been talking about all month. Dr. Marquita said, yes, a driver is essential. She said she can't see. Girl, you can have your driver. I'm telling you, you can have your driver. It's not as much as you would think that it is. If we take the price that we pay for the car note, the price that we pay for the insurance, if we take the price that we spend on gas, the price that we spend on maintenance, and add maybe $100 a week to it, there go your driver right there. And most of us are not going to 40 places in a week. And so when you schedule the things that you need, when you need your driver to come and pick you up and when you need them to be available for you, oh my goodness, it's going to be amazing. But until then, try out Uber Black. Try out Uber Black. Let that be your driver for right now. And a lot of times when you get in the car with those people, all you have to do is start talking to them, and they will give you their information and say, if you ever need a ride, give me a call. That's how you come up with your personal driver. Someone who's already doing it, who's already certified, who's already, understands the city that you're in. I'm telling you, it's not as expensive, but we eliminate ourselves from these things. We say, a second home ain't in the cards for me. People like me don't get to have a second home. Girl, I'm only a teacher. Teachers don't get second homes. Why not? Why not? Because you've eliminated yourself from the conversation. You say, oh, well, I'm just going to try to get my house paid off so that I retire. And then I'm just going to try to make it on the $2,500 a month they're going to pay me. And in your mind, you think that $2,500 is enough. It's not. What is it? How is it that you want to retire? I really want us to begin to think about our end game and how we're going to retire. And I really want us to begin to change our mindset, because you need to take hold of your financial independence. It's available for you. There are lots of ways to make money, but you are not doing the things that you need to do. You got to be willing to show your face. You got to be willing to tell your story, and you got to be willing to tell about your expertise. And if you're not willing to do that, how do you think people are going to know? Some of us are not willing to leave our job. We're not willing to give up the small thing to get to the bigger thing. How will you know? I'm telling you, once you leave your job, it makes you have more time available. You get things done quicker, and then you're out. Even when you go to the store, when I go to the store during the daytime, guess who I meet? Other people who don't work. And guess what we talk about? What it is that we're doing. And so we get to talk and meet people who also create their own income, and we get to network. When I'm at the store and the lady behind me is at the store, guess what? Ain't neither one of us at work. So we're saying, hey, how you doing? But guess what? We're also more relaxed. We're also more comfortable, because we're not trying to think of 102 things. We're not worried about if the superintendent gonna come looking for us. We're not worried about if the kids gonna get to fighting on the playground while I'm gone. We're in the store like la-di-dee, la-di-da. And what is the energy that's coming off of us? The energy of freedom. It's the energy of freedom. It's the energy of freedom. A lot of us have the energy of stuckness. We have the energy of not enough. We have the energy of lack. We have the energy of negativity. And so you're going to pull to you more people who are just like that. But when I'm out, I'm talking to people and they're like, oh, okay, yes. And so what do you do? And I tell them what it is that I do. And they say, oh, wow, my cousin is in need of that right now. And we begin to connect. When people know that you're not at work, they will call you to do jobs because they know that you're available. Hey, we're working on this curriculum. Can we pay you to look it over to see what we're missing? Let me send you an invoice. Curriculum is not necessarily what I'm doing right now, but that's what my degree is in. That's what I specialize in. Yeah, I can look at your curriculum. It's only going to take me 30 minutes, but you're paying a 3-hour consultation fee. So you just paid me $1,000 to look at your curriculum and to send you a loom telling you what I thought about your curriculum and what gaps you need. Well, guess what that's going to create? Now they want to know, well, can you fix it? Can you fix it? Yeah, I got another invoice for you. It's on its way. But if you were at school, they would never ask you that, because they know that you're bombarded, you're burnt out, you're stressed out, you got too many things on your plate. I really want us to begin to think about what it is that we're doing and why it is we're doing it that way. You can create income without having a job. It's available for you. But what is your mindset? If you are only focused on your bills, if you're only focused on lack, if you're only focused on being overwhelmed, it'll never change. I'm telling you, our parents taught us it takes 30 years, and it did back then. I'm not telling you your parents lied to you. They did not. Your parents told you the absolute truth. That's what happened back then. Your parents were not in the age of internet, and your parents were not in the age of computer. They were in a different age. We have kids now who've never known a time without a cell phone. Many of us, we've never known a time without a computer. That is not our parents' reality. And so they taught you what they knew. Well, now you get to see people are making money in different ways, but you sit back and you believe that the only way that you can make money is going into that job, sitting there teaching those kids and being stressed out and underpaid and undervalued. That's what you're choosing for yourself. And I want to motivate you, inspire you, push you, challenge you to make a different decision. But it starts by making a decision and taking action. You have to take action. The universe cannot respond to you by just hoping and praying. you have to take action. Even when the Lord sends you the answer, it's going to come in the form of a relationship or an opportunity. Guess what? If you're sitting around and won't take the call, baby, you got your phone on do not disturb. You see the phone ringing, you won't even answer. The opportunity is not just going to come back. It's going next door and then to the next door. I don't know who it is that told us this lie that what's for me is for me. It is for you. And when you don't take hold of it, it goes to the next person. And so we give ourselves these cop-outs. Well, what's for me is for me. Again, talking to somebody else, she was saying how she went to meet with the school system, the school superintendent, to talk about her program, her services that she's selling. She has really good services. And she thought that it went well. And then when she left, she got a notice that they would be going with a different vendor. And so she was very distraught about how this happened because she was getting really good vibes from what transpired in the meeting and all of the communication up until that point. And so I said, okay, so, and this is where that she said, her words, not mine. She said, well, that's okay, because what's for me is for me. And when she said it, I said, we're going to stop this right now. We finna stop this right now. I said, I tell you what, send me what you sent them and let me give you some feedback on it. I said, I don't know what you sent them, but send it to me. Let me take a look at it and I'll give you some feedback. Baby, she sent me what she sent them. As a matter of fact, she forwarded me the email that she sent to them with the components in it. Y'all should have seen me trying to dial that number on that phone. I said, no, it ain't what's for you, it's for you. You botched this situation. I said, I wouldn't have hired you either. This is not a company presentation that you sent. I don't even know what made you send this. Like, I was so frustrated with her because she knows better. She operates at a high level. And for some reason, she had gone back to what she used to do. And I was like, no, we're going to stop this. What's for me is for me. The reason why you didn't get this is because when they talked to you on the phone, you sound like you knew what you were doing. And then when they met with you in person, your mouth said one thing, but your presentation showed another. This was a very low-level presentation that is not representative of a company that can handle a six-figure contract. This is representative of a person who can do $1,000 PD. This is not representative of a company that can handle a six-figure presentation. I said, so I want you to think about the company that came in behind you. They came in, they talked the talk, they walked the walk, they did their presentation. It was up to par. It looked like they can handle the work. And so they went with them. We're going to stop this. What's for me is for me. A lot of times we go in and we botch situations and then we try to blame it on some other stuff. Let's blame it on ourselves. I messed that one up. I should have had that one, but I messed that one up. I messed that one up because I didn't prepare appropriately. I didn't have anybody to look over my presentation. I had errors all up through it. It looked like a little kid created it, and it didn't look like a six-figure company that created this and is able to handle the job. It looks like it's a one-man show, and one person gonna show up trying to do all of the work. That's why you didn't get the opportunity. It has nothing to do with what's for me is for me. It was for you. They wanted you, but you demonstrated that you were not ready and available for the opportunity. So they had to go with the next person. I want us to stop that. I really do. And I want us to take ownership for when we botch a situation and stop putting it off on God and stop putting it off on destiny. That ain't what it was. It was for you at that time and you botched it. So I want us to take some financial ownership to our financial independence and know that you can create income outside of the work that you're doing or in addition to the work that you're doing. But the question is, where's your mindset at? Where is it at? So I hope this has been helpful for y'all. Y'all know it's April. I'm going live every day. I come on around at 9:30, 9:15, 9:30 hour. I show up every day for y'all for the month of April. It's going to be an abundant April. And if I can help to push you into doing the things that you need to do, if I can inspire you to take action and to take a bigger step, if I can motivate you to take a bigger risk because the one that you're taking is not yielding you the result that you want, then I have done my job. For those who know that you're ready to take the next step, Come on, baby, get into this course that's starting on April 17th, live. April 17th, we are building the assets that you need for your business. We're going to build the assets so that when they say, send me more information, you got that on lock. It's going to build your confidence for you. It's going to help you to be able to communicate what it is that you do clearly, to have your messaging on point, and to have the things that you need to represent your business as a full business and not as a one-man show. And we're creating this real time. We're going to get your lead magnet created within 30 minutes. We're going to get it designed. We're going to get it set up to your landing page. We're going to get it operating. We're going to get all of the other assets that you need. There are assets that you don't even know that you need. When people say, send me more information, what are you sending them? And does it look like your kindergartner did it? Or does it look like a teacher did it? Or is it representative of an education company that deals in high-level contracts that provides high-quality service? So come on into the April 17th consulting success. It's 3 tiers to it, EduTex. So if you click the link in my bio, if you're on Instagram or if you're on Facebook, there's a link attached to this live. If you click that link, it's 3 tiers. You can do the beginning, middle, or the full one, where you get a one-on-one with me for 90 minutes and some additional stuff, or you can just do the lowest tier. So click that link and get signed up. It's live. It's with me. And anybody who's ever done a course with me, they already know I'm going to do whatever I can do to make you successful. I am not one of those people who going to try to just give you a little bit so that you can come back for more. Baby, we want you leaving here getting contracts. When you finish this course, we're going to get you contracts and we're going to give you a little bit more support. So it's going to give you 90 days of support, but you can close contracts within the first 30 days. That's one of my goals, is to get more educators bringing income into their household within 30 days. You can't be scared to do what I'm going to tell you to do. I'm going to tell you exactly what to do. Stop second guessing. If you knew the answer of what to do, you'd already be doing it. I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do, how to do it. I'm going to give you scripts. I'm going to give you resources. I'm going to give you templates. All you got to do is follow the instructions and do it, and take the time. A lot of people won't even take the time. It takes an hour or 2 a day. That's it. That means that you're going to come off Instagram. You're going to come off YouTube. That means that you're not watching your TV show that week. That means that when you take your kids to practice, you're going to sit in the car and do your work instead of going inside talking to them parents who ain't talking about nothing. No way. That just means you're going to shift your time, because you have to make time to do the things that I'm going to tell you to do, and it doesn't take all day. Some people do it on their lunch break at school. Instead of going to lunch, they go to their car and do their work, or they turn their light off in their classroom, close their door and lock it, and do the things they need to do. Some people do it on their playing period. Some people do it on their lunch, whatever the time is. I can tell you this. When my mom was in the hospital, I would go to the hospital and have my computer right there with me, because when my mom was in the hospital, I had just resigned from my job. So I couldn't just sit there and do nothing. I went to the hospital every single day, stayed there every single day, all day, all night, computer on my laptop plugged into the wall. I work for an hour or 2, put it up, and then engage with my mom. While she's asleep, I'm working on my computer. When she wakes up, I close my computer. We got to be willing to do the work. We do the work for the superintendent. We do the work for the principal. We do the work for our kids. We do the work for our husbands, but we won't do the work for ourselves. I just want us to do the work for ourselves. You got to know what your vision is for your life. How is it that you want to live? And then be honest with yourself. Did you settle? Did you just take what they said you can have? And if you answer yes to that question, determine, now I'm doing something different. You get the right to change your mind. You do not have to keep doing what it is you're doing because they said you need to stay for 30 years. That 30 years was a recommendation. You do not have to accept it. You have permission to change your mind. What you dreamed of at 9, what you dreamed of at 12 may not be your same dream at 42. When does the dream end? Do we even know? Sometimes the dream turns into a nightmare. Sometimes the dream turns into night terrors and sweats. You're sick, you're tired, you're broke, you're underpaid, you're undervalued, you're stressed out, you're burnt out, and you think, I'm going to do this for another 10 years. That's abuse. That's self-abuse. You're toxic because you're harming yourself. If you were in a relationship with somebody else and they were harming you, we would call that a toxic relationship. You're in a toxic relationship with yourself because you allow yourself to be sick and tired of being sick and tired. It's time to move on, but we're so attached to the suffering. I need us to not be attached to the suffering and to the struggle and of being in survival mode. And I want you to know there's another way. But until you own the fact that you're going to need to unlearn some things and replace them with some new things and look at things from a different way and become a different person, you're going to be stuck in that suffering, in that survival, and in that struggle mode. We don't do that over here. We operate in ease and grace. We understand that abundance is our birthright. It's a mindset. And once you take on that mindset, you will begin to attract other people to you who have that same mindset. And when people don't have that same mindset, we move away from them because I don't operate with people who are in survival mode. I don't operate with people who are scheming and scamming. I don't operate with people who are in struggle mode, who always trying to hustle, who always trying to come up, who always trying to get over on somebody, who's only operating from the what's in it for me mentality. I operate in a collaborative space. If I'm gonna eat, you gonna eat. We gonna eat together. We gonna take our naps. We gonna get us some rest. We gonna do our self-care to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves first, and then we're gonna take care of the people that we need to take care of. I got a husband. I got kids. I take care of me first. Hey, Care Cozy. Hey, strategy lady. So we're going to do the things that we need to do. And I encourage you, if you are in the wrong types of environments, you got to create the environment that you need. You got to get out of that environment. Stop taking the calls from the people who are gossiping. Stop talking to the girl who been had the same problem for the past 10 years. Stop talking to the girl who been dating the same man, who been beating her head in and cheating on her, and all she do is complain about it. You keep bringing that energy into your life. The one who ain't got no job, always unemployed, somebody always doing something to her. She always in a crisis situation. Baby, you are inviting that energy into your life. When they call, you don't want to hear that. If you call to talk about little Tony, I'm not going to participate in that conversation. I have several people who they already know. Soon as they start talking about a situation, I start talking about something else. I'm not responding. I'm not talking. So what you doing this weekend, girl? Girl, what you got planned for this weekend? I'm going to, yep, because we're not finna talk about little Tony. We're not finna talk about little Tony. What you doing? Okay, you taking your kids with you? Okay, how your mama doing? Okay, tell Miss So and so I'm gonna call her next week. I want to see if she want to go to this concert that I got tickets to. I'm not going, but I give her the tickets if she want them. I'm not doing that. You gotta not be willing to do that either. Somebody called me last night and said, "Have you watched something? Have some new show?" And I said, "Oh no, I'm running a thriving business, and so I'm using all of my time in my business and pouring into my business, so my business can pour into me." That's what I said. Y'all think I'm playing? When they called and said, "Girl, did you watch this new show?" Whatever she said, "Did you watch this new show? It's about so and so and so and so." I was like, "No, I'm working in my business. I have a thriving business that I'm working in, and I'm pouring into my business, and so my business is gonna pour into me. So I'm really using all of my time in my business. That's what I'm doing." She was like, "Girl, you got time to watch that?" No, I don't, and nor do I desire. I enjoy working in my business. I said, because I'm doing what I love to do, it's fun for me. I enjoy this. It's fun. I get excited. I feel liberated. And when I'm creating my content schedule, when I'm creating my programs, when I'm sending back emails about where I'm going to speak at, the people who I'm going to touch, and then when I think about the money that I'm going to make, that's just a little icing on top. Yeah, this is what winning and thriving looks like. She don't know what it looks like. To her, winning is being able to watch her TV show. And that's not saying anything bad about her. If that's what works for you, that's what works for you. But don't try to give me FOMO because I'm over here doing this and you over there doing that. And so we have to create the environment that we need. I have an accountability group that I meet with every Monday night who helps me to create the environment that I need. I have another group that I meet with who helps me to create the environment that I need. I have ladies who I meet with who help me to create the environment that I need. Oh, hey, Miriam. Hey. Miriam said, yes, ma'am. Because a lot of us, like a lot of times, we don't realize that the people in our lives sometimes are the toxic situations. Just being honest. We don't want to admit it. We don't want to admit that we have toxic family members. And when I say toxic, keep in mind that I'm talking about they do harm. When I say toxic, I mean they do harm. Anything that harms you is toxic. And see, because we don't understand what toxic means, we can't put into perspective when we're in a toxic situation. Anything that harms you emotionally, physically, spiritually, anything that harms you is toxic. Just like when you eat food and it harms you, it's toxic. Like some people can't eat McDonald's. I'm one of them. I can't eat McDonald's. It makes me immediately sick. It's toxic. I can't eat it. When you're talking to yourself, some of us are toxic to ourselves. We talk crazy to ourselves. You don't never get nothing right. Why we play the same thing over in our head 100 times? You toxic to yourself. Why are you toxic to yourself? Like, we got to stop being toxic to ourselves. People treat you the way you treat yourself. When I walk past the mirror, I'd be like, hey, girl. Hey, girl. Girl, what? Girl, you doing it today. Girl, look at you. That smile. Girl, I got a mirror right here. That's who I'm talking to. Girl, that smile. Girl, the Lord blessed you with some beautiful teeth. Girl, them cheekbones. Look at God. Look at God. He knew exactly what he was doing. That skin, girl, you better make it happen. Make it glow. How do we talk to ourselves? How do we talk to ourselves? What is the language that we use to talk to ourselves? I'm an introvert. I tell myself, you are an amazing networker. You are an amazing community builder. You are an amazing connector. I tell myself these things because I will sit in this house all day long if I need to, if I could. I don't need to leave. I love it here. I love it here. I went to my niece's event last night. We had to wear red. Couldn't find all of the pieces to my little outfit, but I went on and I made sure she had an amazing time. It was her 25th birthday. And we played the birthday game. And we had our mini Uno cards to make sure that we had something to do just in case, because we love games in our family. We were at a beautiful location. We were at a beautiful spot. And before I went in, I said, okay, girl, you're an amazing connector. You're an amazing networker. You're an amazing communicator. And you're about to have an amazing time. I met with my sister ahead of time. We went together, held the seats for everybody as folks came in. And absolutely, by the time everybody got ready to leave, baby, I was everybody's Auntie Nell. I was everybody's Auntie Nell. Everybody there was saying, all right, Auntie Nell, oh, I can't wait to be at the next event with you. Yeah, I enjoyed myself. This is from an introvert. But I talk to myself. And I talk to myself as a loving person. I talk to myself the way I would talk to my children, the way I would talk to my mother. One of our rules is don't treat a stranger better than you treat the ones you love, or better than you treat the one yourself. If somebody came up to you and asked you for $1, if you would give it to them, give it to yourself, give it to your family members. We don't treat strangers better than we treat family, and we don't treat strangers better than we treat ourselves. I've seen people who will get birthday gifts for people at their jobs, but won't get birthday gifts for people who have sold into them in their family. That's crazy. I had a friend who would buy birthday gifts for everybody else and would never get me a birthday gift because she wanted them to believe that she was this nice person and showed up and all of these things. But it didn't matter what I believed because I was already her friend. And didn't anything change until I said something. I said, so you can buy gifts for everybody else, but you don't ever buy me a gift. And she was like, girl, no, it ain't like that. No, it is like that. People won't change until you change. You got to let them know we're not doing this anymore. The grounds of this friendship has changed. And so we got to know that some of us have spouses and significant others who will talk to other people in public nice and decent and respectful. And then you ask a question and they bite your head off. Why do they treat strangers better than they treat you? And until you tell them, until you help them to understand, you talk to strangers better than you do to me. You yell at me, talk to me crazy, roll your eyes, huff and puff, and carry on. But in the store, you, yes, ma'am, excuse me, thank you. You need some help, but you don't try to help me. I'm telling you, we just got to turn these relationships around. But it's until we understand in our own head that toxic means harm. We harm ourselves first, which is why we allow other people to harm us. That's why. Anyway, I want us to get it together. I want nothing but the best for you. I hope that you have an absolutely amazing day. Come back tomorrow. I have another topic for y'all. We might go through some actual planning and getting some contract stuff together. I'm going to talk to y'all later.